Hey there, Haru here, and today I'm doing a guide on tanking. This is a general tanking guide, not just, specifically for Guardian Druid. What I'll be covering today is UI setup. Some of the more important things that a lot of tanks have set up on their UI is generally not something, you'll be able to find, while they're streaming, things like that, because it's not something you can like see a lot of the times. So the things I'm talking about are audio cues, weak auras, etc. So let me go straight into it. We're just gonna start off with Plater. So with audio cues, you have there are many different things you can do. You can grab specific weak auras for specific abilities. If you feel like, the one you have isn't good enough, or you want an audio cue and a bar or some kind of countdown timer for the ability. But in Plater, if you go down to cast colors and names and you go to Algothar, say for example, or let's go to, I don't know, Ruby, since we're inside Ruby. So inside Ruby Life Pools, I'll type it into the search bar and then you'll see a whole list of spells. And for each spell that, you feel like you have an issue with, you can put some kind of audio cue it on. So, on Ruby, a lot of the times you'll do big pulls in this area or with the mini boss or even like, in the upper area. You have big pulls. And whenever you have big pulls, it's hard to track every single thing. Like, say for example, if you decide to do this double pull with Lust, you got 3 Flame Dancers, you got the Destroyer, 2 Cinder Weavers. So you have the kick, you have a Flame Dance that you need to stop, you got the Inferno, or the Blazebound Destroyer's Inferno doing damage. So you just have a lot of things going on. You need to press defensives, you need to kick, you need to stop Flame Dance, and it also does damage to you. Whenever things like that come up, audio cues help significantly in, alleviating what you need to visually track. So, what myself and a lot of other tanks do is for any tank buster, we will put some kind of audio cue. So, say for example, Steel Barrage, right? On this guy, you can put a bite sound on it or whatever you want for tank busters. But try to keep that consistent across all tank buster abilities. Use the same audio cue so that you have that reactionary muscle memory to press a defensive the moment you hear the sound. That way, even if you aren't, you're a little tired, you're not tracking everything with your eyes properly. If you hear it, so you have a second way of tracking it, both visually and audio, then you'll have a much higher chance for being consistent with that ability. And the reason why I use consistent is because that is what matters in a lot of these keys. Um, High key pushers, they don't, go into a key hoping, all right, everybody's on their A game and they're going to play 100% of the time. Uh, and they'll be able to track every single ability, whatnot, without doing anything else. A lot of it, consistency comes with practice. They do these dungeons, they set up their UI. Every single time they die to something, they kind of think, oh, what can I make myself live that ability a little bit better? What makes it easier for me to live that? Um, and it's not always just, oh, you should have pressed the defensive there, and that's it. A lot of the times it's not, oh, you should have pressed the defensive. It's more so, do you have your UI set up properly so that you will be able to press a defensive? All right. In my plater though, as you can see, I don't have it set up, and that's because a lot of it I have set up in bigwigs. So bigwigs with little wigs add-on, you can go into the dungeon bosses. You can go to every dungeon and you have to look for the ones in the old ones, like Missa Paneria, Jade, Temple of Jade. You can go to the trash down here on this right side, and it'll show you different abilities. So haunting gaze, tank buster. I have a bite sound on it. So bite sound is my audio of choice for any tank buster ability, dark claws, etc. So I have it all set up in bigwigs. I want to say Plater is probably a little bit better. It's just that I had it set up from bigwigs initially, and I'm a little bit of a noob when it comes to UI things. Like my UI is not the best. However, it's good enough for 90 like 5% of the dungeon things I need. Probably even more. 99, I would say. There are some very niche things that I don't have, where I will grab like specific weak auras, etc. Okay, so the next part is general visual UI. Uh, Aside from the weak aura package for your spells and abilities, so I'm not gonna go over that. I think there are plenty of other better guides out there that will have a better setup in terms of a class weak aura package. So aside from this, you definitely as a tank want to be tracking all your health tonics. So for me, I got renewal, health pot, Hellstone if I have a warlock in my party, and then my damage pot if needed. And then on top of that, I'm also tracking my trinkets. So trinket usage is also very important, because a lot of the times you might be running a defensive trinket. So burgeoning seed, say for example. And these are just weak auras. You can find any of the ones that you need on Wago. So say for example, for my burgeoning seed, my trinket weak aura doesn't actually track the stacks. So I just went to go search for burgeoning seed, and I found one that tracks stacks. That's all it is. Alright. So down in the next part, give me a sec. Let me change the screen. This next part is for abilities. So a lot of tanks who are kind of starting off, I figured it might be helpful to have a list of what is dangerous, what hurts a lot, and what still hurts. Like, for hurts a lot, usually you need to press a defensive. For still hurts, this is something you most likely need to press a frenzied regen to heal. And then for you are dead section, these are pretty much abilities that hurt massively and would highly recommend you tank it. You tank these like mobs abilities with your big I guess your big defensives is the best way I can put it. So for Guardian Druid, it'd be Survival Instincts and Incarn, okay? It's a combination of both. So like inside of Incarn, you're quite tanky, pretty much can't die. If you get hit by one, you just spam Frenzied Regen. There are certain abilities that will still one-shot you. So those are the ones where you want to overlap SI, Bark Skin, Rage of the Sleeper, Notorious. Last pack of Jade Temple has 4 Tank Buster mobs in it. That's, one of those where you have to have Incarn and you also have to press your defensives. I will have this linked down below in the description, so feel free to make a copy. This will be a view-only link. Alright. Let's go back to in-game. And then the very last thing I want to show is a weak aura from Rello. He's a very, very famous and popular weak aura creator. and the weaker is called Spell CDs on Nameplate. This will also be linked down below. So what this weaker does is, for a lot of mobs, their abilities will be on the nameplate. So say for example this mini boss, I'm about to pull it. If I go to, oh, for whatever reason it's not loaded. But if you go under custom options, you have a list of all of the abilities. You have a list of all of the abilities, and you can show whether you want to track it as a tank, healer, melee range, doesn't matter. You'll have it all tracked. So if I pull this guy, you'll see right here next to their nameplate his abilities that are currently being tracked. Or say for example this Earthshaper, the what was it called? I forgot what the Earthshaper's ability was that you need to also stop. So for the mini boss, it's something barrage plus his charge, and then for the Earthshaper, it's tectonic slam. So you can see all of that being tracked. And then for the Juggernaut, same thing. His slam is also being tracked. His I think it's crushing slam. Maybe not. Either way, I don't normally pull Juggernauts in my route, so might not be the best one to display. Yeah, that's pretty much about it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. That should help with most of your guys' keys if you're trying to push from 15 to the 20 range. These are things that will help you significantly. Hope you guys enjoyed, and good luck.